Good morning from, it's windy. I'm trying to find a good way to not have wind on it. I don't know exactly where we are. I know we're close to Paxson. We're heading north, slowly getting out of Alaska, but this is not exactly an efficient way to get out of Alaska because we are trying to see the northern lights before we leave. And of course, the farther north you go, the better chance you have. So heading north, beautiful view here though, wherever we're at. And there's the Alaska pipeline right over there. The road has been just a little bumpy. How's our stuff, Hensley? Everything good? The boots tipped over, a couple of oranges met their fate, and then yeah, that almost always moves around. But in general, not bad. Nothing major, falling off or breaking or anything like that. You're a jumpy little girl. You've been riding in the van. You trying to get some energy out?
I just drank some milk here.
Some what? What'd you drink? Whatever you drank, maybe you don't need to be drinking that. Do you have some coffee or something? This is the lens over here. You're looking at the screen. There you go. You see, that's Daddy's challenge. He has to look at the lens. But the screen's right there. So we've been debating on where we want to go to see the northern lights. Of course, we might get lucky and just see them naturally on the way out through Canada. Some people have done that. If you want to see a bear,
That's me.
you can.
That's me.
You can see him just about any time, especially if you're an RV.
Don't hang on.
What?
That's me, the bear.
Okay, thank you, Hensley. So if you're trying to do the right things to follow the northern lights or find the northern lights, the first thing you want to do is be in the right direction. You want to be north. I mean, you don't have to necessarily be in Fairbanks, but if you're in Anchorage or Homer, I mean, or somewhere really far south, it makes it way harder. So we chose Delta Junction. We didn't want to go all the way to Fairbanks, but at the same time, we knew we'd have a better chance if we got out of Anchorage. And so we're heading north. Second thing you want to get right is the right camping spot. This is actually like the second, third, we've been asking about all kinds of recreation areas around here. The problem is they're all, when you look up, like it's just all trees. So we're like, that's not gonna work. So we went to the visitor center and asked, and they said Quartz Lake is where you want to be. This is north, and we're wide open to it. We could even see it from inside of our RV if we want to, versus a lot of your campsites are up in here in the trees and you'd have to like walk out or drive out to be able to see this. Altitude could also have to do with it. So the lower you are, if you got a campsite in a valley versus a campsite that's like higher up, I think you'd have a better chance of seeing the northern lights if you're higher up too. Hey, you gonna eat that?
No.
What about that? What if I eat some of this? Ooh. What if I do this?
No.
What if I just take it all? Well, we didn't have any luck last night with the northern lights. Pretty much like this all night, which is not ideal. Actually worse than this. You couldn't even see. So we woke up multiple times just kind of double checking. Because there was a chance. I think it got up to maybe like a 15-20% chance, something like that. But never really a great chance to see much. Ah, cool, Hensley. Look at this little beach area. There's already some toys out here.
Is she going to ride in the sand?
I think so. I don't know why that's so funny, Hensley. Your kitty cat's cracking me up. She's got the wind in her hair. Living the dream.
And driving a car.
Oh yeah. So in addition to going the right direction, which would be north in general, having the right campsite with some sort of a view, you also want to make sure it's the right time. So if you're coming to Alaska during the summer, you're looking at probably like late August, early September, kind of in that range. If you want to make sure you don't get stuck in snow, I guess you could possibly stay a little later in September. And we've been told some of the best times to be out here looking for the northern lights is like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. As far as the time. But you can kind of get a feel for it. Around sunset, like at 9:30-ish, 9 o'clock, you can kind of start to already see whether or not it's going to be a good night for it. So you don't have to like necessarily stay up the whole time. But if you want to make sure you're looking at staying up till about 2 a.m. And as far as timing, you're also looking for two other things. You've got something called the KP index. It's basically an index of, I think, 1 to 10 that's letting you know how strong the northern lights are and what the likelihood of seeing them are if you're in the right place and have all these other conditions. It's actually way more complicated than I thought to try to figure out where the lights are, when they're coming out, how strong they are, all that kind of stuff. If this is your KP index here, what does this look like? A moderately strong stick. So that's around a KP index of 7, something like that, 5 to 7. So it's moderate, the northern lights, but that has to intersect with ideal weather. So if your weather's like down here and it's super cruddy, it's like cloudy, not clear, you know, it's not going to intersect or be the right conditions for you to see what you need to see with the northern lights. But if the skies are clear and the KP index is high enough, of say 7 or higher, then you got those ideal conditions where you get to see the northern lights. So last night we had a KP index of, I don't know, 4 or something like that. So still, the KP index was low, the clouds were out. It was not a very high chance of us seeing it last night.
Can Marissa have one of those?
We'll find out. That's gonna be a shame if you can't and I've got to eat more. Ran back into finding her someday. This is actually some sun out here. Check that out. We might have a shot tonight, I'm hoping. So the KP index isn't super high, but if it's just clear, we got a shot. Hensley's over here fishing with her homemade fishing pole. Good cast, Hensley. Pretty cool that we got a couple of moose just hanging out by the campground. Kids can do some fishing, and then we're basically just waiting around hoping to see some lights. Back in Tok, Alaska. It's clear-ish here, but still didn't have any luck with the northern lights here either. And of course, if you want to get it right when it comes to seeing the northern lights, you want to have the right apps. I downloaded 3 different apps. To me, they were all just way more information than what I want. I just want to know when and where is my best shot of seeing the northern lights. If you Google Aurora in Alaska, it'll pull up this Aurora forecast page, and it'll show you the path of the aurora and kind of where it's going to be. This is Aurora Pro. I can't remember what the free one's called. It'll show you the best locations, the aurora map, which is really similar to what the other is. It'll show you the KP index, which that's really low right now. Lots of good stats and that kind of thing too. And the other thing that I think is good to check or good to have, just have a decent weather app. And you can just look on it and see, okay, we got a little bit of cloud cover coming in at 9. And then by like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I can see that a lot more cloud cover's coming in, and it's gonna be harder to see much above us. As far as like videoing or taking pictures of the northern lights, this is my main camera here. I'm gonna use most of the time. I don't know where to look on this. It's got a really wide lens, which is good if you're taking photos or video of things in the sky, because you're getting more in the shot. GH5, and it's got an 8 to 18 lens on it. To me, the wider the lens is one thing I think that's important, and then the second is the f-stop that's on the lens. This is a 1.4. Basically, you want to get a wide lens and you want to get a low f-stop if you can. So I'm hoping to even be able to use my GoPro on it and do some stuff with this. This has got an f-stop at 2.8. And you're also really gonna want, this is not a great tripod. This is a monopod with feet on it, but this is what I've got. So I'm gonna try to stabilize these, but you want a really good tripod. Really better than what I have. So we've continued to make our way southeast. We're officially now in Canada. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of Alaska, and maybe you're like, that's not real, that's a painting, or they're not really there. Yeah, this is one of those places, so check that out. This is pretty awesome. So because we did top of the world on the way here, we didn't come through Destruction Bay. And this is so cool. And there's several really sweet places you can just pull off the boondock. We're kind of close to the road, but not bad. Wow, 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 wow. Man. So as far as a sweet view, we've got that. North is kind of that way. But as far as the high probability of the northern lights, the KP index is only 1.67, which is not good. It needs to be at least 4 or 5 preferably. And then we're also gonna have clouds most of the night. We're just gonna enjoy this view. Maybe next spot. What do you think about this place? Is it pretty?
Hold me up.
Hold you up? Now what do you think about this place?
It was so cool.
Isn't that cool? It's called Destruction Bay. That's a bay of water, isn't it pretty?
You sink in it?
Yeah, you'd sink in that water just like other water too. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Still an awesome spot, but no northern lights, so we're moving on to Whitehorse. Made our way into Whitehorse, Canada, where we've done some shopping at the real Canadian superstore, which is actually better than the Walmart here as far as shopping. So not looking great tonight either. The viewing probability is 0, and even though we're technically even out of Alaska and we've gone southeast a little bit, you'll see that we're still in the ring right here on Whitehorse. Not by much, but we're still in there, hanging in. But once we start going southeast tomorrow, our chances are gonna be very, very low. You will hear about northern lights even making their way into the lower 48. It does happen. Probably gonna have a hard time seeing it from here on out. Hoping that we'll get to see something tonight. 10 p.m. The rain's coming in. The clouds have shifted. It's not happening tonight. May have to have the talk with Marissa in the morning because the weather's not good. We're supposed to be heading south, but we'll talk about it in the morning. I guess as far as like the right way to see the northern lights, which is kind of ironic because I don't think we're gonna see the northern lights. The last step is just to have the right attitude, because you just don't know for sure whether or not you're gonna see it because you don't have total control over what's going on.
I think the most frustrating part too is the northern lights happened and they happened so close to us, But I mean, you just have to be at the right place at the right time. It has to all align perfectly.
And this video is spanned over like 4 or 5 days, but I mean, we've been watching for the lights for weeks. And like she said, there's times it's literally, I mean, it's overhead. Couldn't see it. Too many clouds. So it's got to intersect just right.
But that's what makes it special. If it was easy to see, I guess maybe it wouldn't hold that, you know, that majestic part about it, is that it is kind of limited to who sees it. I was hoping we'd get to be part of that limited group, but maybe one day we'll get to see the lights.
So that's our journey with the Northern Lights. That's the thing about a journey. You don't know what direction it's going to take. That's how it went for us, but hopefully it won't go like that for you if you take the time and energy to chase the Northern Lights. But until next time, we will catch you guys later. So the lights are actually out. I don't know why I'm whispering. I did not expect to see anything, but we got a surprise from where we're at. So we moved about 5 hours southeast of Whitehorse, and we thought, I think our Northern Light chances are over from what we checked when we had internet, but we have no internet here. And so we're just sitting around, 30 minutes south of Watson Lake, and look outside 11 p.m. and we're seeing the Northern Lights. Like, we have no apps, nothing alerting us, no way to double check anything because there's no internet out here, but it's the middle of nowhere, which actually helps things. And pretty awesome what we're seeing. So quite the night last night. Unexpected, actually. So that was actually made it pretty fun, I guess.
I kind of thought it was over. I thought, yeah, well, we didn't get to see the lights, so that was definitely an awesome surprise. So never give up, I guess, is the thing there.
You want to have the right attitude because you don't know. I mean, Marissa was like throwing things and getting mad and stomping around because she thought she wasn't going to get to see the lights, and then it worked out.
And I did not act like that. Maybe on the inside, but not on the outside.
Sure. So yeah, no, she really didn't act that way, but she is super excited, and I'm super excited to see it. They put on a show. I mean,
it's even difficult to put into words because people have tried to explain the Northern Lights to me, because you see pictures and they're like, well, it's not like the pictures. And I thought, okay, well, how's it not like the picture? But it's way more than a picture in person. The colors might not be as vibrant as they are in the picture, but the light show itself is like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, it's like all these shapes and colors just literally dancing in the sky, and it's like somebody's erasing them and then starting over, and then erasing them and starting over. It's like really cool.
She saw her first shooting star last night.
I saw like
second or third
20
or fourth.
shooting stars last night.
So like, if you picture,
stars were gorgeous.
So it wasn't just the Northern Lights. You got the lights dancing around. You got shooting stars going all over the place. You got the Milky Way is just booming, stars overhead all over. Because we're not near lights, not really near that much civilization.
It was perfect.
It was awesome
when it happened. So, I can't even describe how cool that was. So
we're super glad we got to see it. Definitely, if it's on your bucket list, or if it's not, it probably needs to be.
It was on my bucket list. That's one of the highlights of our whole trip for me. Like, I really wanted to see the Northern Lights. It's something I've always wanted to do.
We're going to wrap up, call it a day for us, and we will catch you guys later.